Namaste, namaste, and welcome to this is week 8 of our summer term of chair yoga. And today we're going to continue to explore our sun salutations, and we're also going to do a little bit of other flow movements. So other flowing movements where we join more than one yoga pose together and we move with our breath a little bit more, just as we do for sun salutation. So before we get started with that, come sitting on your seat. Sit right to the front of your seat so that you're encouraging your body to lift itself upright, pressing down into the feet and allowing the buttocks to be heavy. Rest your hands wherever is comfortable for you. And then allow your spine to organize itself upright. You might here want to do a little bit of leaning slightly forward and slightly backwards. As you lean slightly forward, you can maybe feel the muscles in the back of the body holding on. As you lean slightly backward, you can maybe feel the muscles in the front of the body, particularly across the belly, holding on. We want to find ourselves a neutral spot where the body can be as quiet as possible. And in that neutral spot, gazing gently downward or closing your eyes, whichever you prefer, step away from all of the things going on around you. Step into your yoga space. Observe your body. Observe how your body feels in this moment. The areas of stiffness or tension or aches and pains. Be mindful of those areas as we practice today and work with kindness and compassion. Notice at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, quiet, and at ease. Draw your awareness to your breath and notice your breath in this moment without any control, the natural, spontaneous breath. Notice the rhythm and the rate, the smoothness of your breath. The sensation of the air moving in and out through the nose. When you're ready, you can gently deepen your breath as you exhale, drawing the navel towards the spine, engaging across the belly muscles to press more air out of the lungs, and then softening the belly, breathing deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. Breathing out that long, slow, deep breath out, engaging across your navel to breathe out fully, and then softening the belly to breathe into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Breathing out long and slow and deep, gently engaging at the bottom of your exhalation, softening the belly muscles to breathe fully into the whole of the rib cage, the whole of the torso. Continuing your breath in this way, see if you can also soften your forehead, your jaw, and your shoulders. You might have that sensation of the breath lifting you as you inhale, lifting you upright, lifting you tall. And the shoulders and the face and the jaw all softening a little more as you exhale. Let's do one more big deep breath. And then if you are comfortable, you can open your eyes. You can keep them closed if you prefer. Just allowing the arms to rest down by the side and giving the shoulders a gentle roll a few times in each direction. We'll go the opposite way as well. And then with the shoulders in stillness, we're going to make figure of eights with your nose. So you can start making your 8 shape up and down. So a vertical 8, just allowing the nose to draw the figure of 8 in the air, getting some nice, small but significant movements into the neck. Taking your time here, looking for smoothness of movement, not swiftness of movement. When you're ready, you can reverse that motion, going in the opposite direction around your figure of 8. And then coming to the center, we'll roll the shoulders a couple of times in each direction again. Very good. Just in case we've created any tension. And then we're going to turn that figure of 8 and put it on its side so it becomes like the infinity sign, and the same thing again. So this is much more of a side-to-side movement, a little bit of head turning perhaps, drawing that infinity sign with your nose. And when you're ready, going in the opposite direction, slow and smooth and steady. And when you're ready, coming back to the center again and just rolling the shoulders again. Smashing stuff. Let's sit further back in the chair. So sitting all the way against the back edge of your seat and popping your toes out in front of you, your feet out in front of you. You don't need to lift them. So if you lift your legs to about hip height, then it engages the muscles at the front of the legs across both the shins and the thighs, the quadriceps, and it engages a little bit in the belly muscles. And that makes it quite challenging if you want to hold them up here as you do the practice. So you can have your heels on the floor and do exactly the same thing, or be in between. Choose a level that suits you. We're going to spread the toes out as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, scrunch the toes up. Spreading them out, getting space between the toes as much as possible, and breathing out as we scrunch them up. Breathing in to separate, breathing out to close. Breathing in to separate the toes, breathing out to close. Let's do the whole foot. Breathe in, draw the toes back towards the body, extending through your heels. Breathing out as you point the toes away, extending across the front of the ankle. Breathing in and breathing out. If you can, get your full range of movement or build towards it, but try to avoid holding in a way that gives you cramp. So no forcing or straining, just nice movement between the two ends of your movement, if that makes sense. One more time. And then we're going to roll the ankles. So rolling the ankles, you can do both feet together if it suits you. I like to do opposite feet. I always have, who knows? And then we're going to roll the opposite way as well. Again, trying to get a lovely, large range of movement, but doing what naturally comes to you. And remember, these are the exercises you can do in front of the TV every evening. Swap direction again. And then just relaxing the legs down. I'm going to push my block out of the way so that my feet can dangle a bit towards the floor. Really sitting back in my seat. If you wish to, you can hold on at the sides. And we're just going to gently kick the legs. Check you're not going to kick anything underneath you, but a gentle sort of lengthen and release. And you don't have to get your legs straight. This is all about lubricating the knee joint. So it's not about doing any particular shape with the body. Very good. And then bringing the feet down to the bottom, you can stir your feet in circles, and you can do that alternate circles or circling the feet in the same direction, whichever feels good. Try not to kick your chair as I just did. Again, a little lubrication here of the knee joint, whichever direction you're going in, go the opposite way as well. And you might be able to feel the muscles of the legs warming up a bit here, which is all good. That's what we're after. When you're ready, you can bring your feet onto the floor as you sit slightly forward. We're going to take the feet a comfortable distance apart. Doesn't have to be particularly apart, comfortable distance. And then hands onto the waist or out to the side as you choose. And we're going to roll the body around in a circle. So we're creating that circle with the chest, circling all the way around where the sit bones, the bottom, is on the seat. A little bit of action here across your belly muscles will really help. Drawing the elbows back will help to open your chest as well, and allow your head to move as your body moves. So you can turn your head to look around. You can draw your head towards your chin towards your chest, and then lift your chin up if that feels good. Just a gentle movement, a natural extension of what's happening in the spine, coming into the neck and the head. When you're ready, you can gently go in the opposite direction. And this again, it's a lubricating movement, but it begins to stir the energy from our center and actually stir it towards center, which is an interesting thing. It's very common in Kundalini yoga, this movement. Again, just a touch of lift across the belly muscles. And when you're ready, you can come back to the center. We're going to bring the feet towards each other a little bit. So creating the width that feels good to you. We're going to do a little sit to stand. So I'm going to turn my chair so that you can see. So for those of you who haven't done this before, we want the feet underneath the knees. So not in front of the knees and not behind the knees, but underneath the knees. And we're going to firm the belly and reach the hands forward. And as we do, just gently lift the tailbone off the seat, and then we're going to release back again. So this is a little bit like squatting, but we're doing just a tiny snippet in time of that squat. And it is quite challenging. So firm your feet into the floor, particularly the big toe joint, little toe joint, and heel. Firm your belly muscles, roll your shoulders back and down, and then when you're ready, you can reach the hands forward to gently float the hips up and release down. And we're going to repeat, floating forward, releasing down. You can use the arms for a bit of momentum to lift and release, lift and hover, and release. This time we're going to stand all the way up. So we're going to lift and hover and then press into the legs to stand tall and reach the arms nice and wide, and then come back the way. We're reaching the hands forward. As we do that, we scoop the belly in, lengthen the tailbone back behind us, and gently and lightly place the buttocks down onto the seat. Let's do 3 more like this, and then we'll stand up to hold. So reaching forward, pressing into the feet, hovering, then lifting, a gentle openness. So we let the hips come forward a little bit as the arms come out to the side, and then the opposite way, reaching the hands forward, scooping the belly in, gently placing the buttocks down onto the seat. Feet still very active here, big toe joints particularly. Reaching forward to hover, and then stand tall, open, and then reaching forward, reaching back with the tailbone to sit. Last one like this, reaching forward, hover, stand tall, release forward, and then reaching forward, reaching tailbone backwards, scooping the belly in. This time we'll come up and we will stay standing. So reaching forward, hover, come all the way up, nice and open, and then just floating your arms down to the side. And as you do, notice how grounded your feet are. They are super stuck to the floor. You've created a really nice, firm place of balance. And we're going to undo that by moving the feet. So just placing your chairs to one side for now, or coming to a place in your space where you're not standing right next to your seat. And we're going to take the feet nice and wide, Find that sense of grounding, that big toe joint, little toe joint, heel, pressing down into the floor. We're going to soften the knees as well. Feel a gentle lift from the center of the foot to the crown of the head, lifting in the pelvic floor and the belly muscles a touch, and then just gently twisting from side to side. So here you can feel the activation of those abdominal muscles. As you twist, you can feel the length and contract happening across the different sides of the body. And we want that firmness and centered support so that we can soften and release in the shoulders that hold so much tension. Here, trying to just let it go. Letting the arms be nice and loose and relaxed, wrapping around the body, tapping the body wherever they fall. The fingers like the curls in the hands. And if it feels good, you can keep your feet solid and stable here. And if you prefer, you can pivot on your toes, so you get a gentle openness across your hips as well. Either one of these is good. Choose the one that feels best to you in this moment. And particularly if you are finding balance a challenge, then keeping the feet still can be a little bit better. If it feels good to be pivoting on your feet, you can create a little soft bounce in the knees. So bend in the center and twist, bend and twist, bounce and twist. And that buoyancy in the legs, so really firmly supported by the feet, the pelvic floor, belly muscles. If you wish to, you can allow your hands to tap the opposite shoulder in front of you, or opposite side of the chest in front of you, and opposite side of the rib cage behind you. Just a destination for the arms, in between, keeping them nice and loose, shoulders heavy. And try to take the concentration out of your face here. Soften into a little smile if possible. And we're going to turn this into a sideways movement. So if you're unsure at all, you can bring your body back to center. But what we're going to do is gently begin to reach the arms from side to side, extending into the opposite foot. So we've still got that sort of bounce in the center, but now it's more of a side bend. Very good. Super. And you can begin to make this movement a little bit slower, so that lengthened position is just a touch longer. We hold it just for a touch. And then if you want to, you can move your straighter pointed toe behind you a little, and the arms behind you a little. So it becomes a little bit like a back bend. Nice and firm in the belly. Very good. And we're going to do 2 more to each side. I think that's us. And then gently bring yourself back to center. Just let your arms hang by the side for a little. Find your way back to steady feet. And as you do so, stand tall. Take this moment to feel the difference of coming to stillness after that movement. And that sense that within the body, there's still lots of movement. There's that stirred energy all moving everywhere. Your digestive system, your circulatory system are all moving. Even the messages from your brain down your nerves, everything is in movement in the body. But we feel still because we're standing steady. Take a deep breath in here and sigh out. Good job. Let's do that with our shoulders as well. So we're going to shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and hold them briefly there. And then really slowly release them back down to wherever is neutral. And hopefully that's about now. And then from this neutral position, press the palms to the floor as we lengthen through to the crown of the head. Oh, that feels so good. And then slowly coming back to neutral again. In between, we're going to take a deep breath in and sigh out. And then give the arms a bit of a shake, and we'll do it again. This time we're going to breathe in as we lift, and then exhale as we lower. And we're going to try to lower for the count of 10. Keep your own count, and then we'll do the other bit. So breathing in as we draw the shoulders up towards the ears. And then as you breathe out, really slowly, for the count of 10, releasing your shoulders back down. If you need to take another breath, do that. It's not a problem at all. When you get to that neutral spot, turning the palms down, pressing the palms down towards the floor at the same time, lengthen the crown of the head up. So you provide that sense of space between the ears and the shoulders. And then slowly breathing in here. As you breathe out, releasing back towards center, maybe for the count of about 5 is a much shorter space. In between, give the arms a shake, take a deep breath in, sigh out. Awesome. Last time, breathing in, shoulders up to ears, hold them there, and then as slowly as you can, breathing out, taking the shoulders back down to that neutral spot. Hopefully it takes even longer this time. And when you get to that neutral spot, turning the palms, pressing them down to the floor, extending up to the crown of the head, taking a deep breath in here. As you exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly returning back to center. Relaxing the arms, deep breath in, sighing out. Good job. Okay, so let's just have a little roll of the shoulders. We're going to do a little shoulder swinging, I think, before we do our up and overs. So stepping forward with your right foot and back with your left foot. Doesn't matter how far apart your feet are, but try not to step one foot behind the other because it makes it really hard to balance. So still side by side. If you looked at your feet, they still look about hip width apart at the toes. We're going to turn the left palm forwards and just gently swing that arm by the side. And the knees can be nice and soft. There's a little bounce in the knees here. We're generally thinking of softness through the body. And we're going to focus on drawing the arm backwards so that that space behind the shoulder working, so that the forward swing of the arm is momentum after we hold the arm back and release. If you wish to, you can rock backwards and forwards on your feet as well. And just allow a little movement across the feet. That's completely optional. But if it feels good to do that, you can use your head to gently look behind you. You might rest your right hand across the left side of the chest or the shoulder, so you can feel what's happening in the body there. And remembering we're focusing on that back swing, so the forward swing happens under its own momentum. And we'll do a few more of these before bringing the feet back to steadiness and just allowing the arm to end up by the side of the body. Step forward onto both feet, feel the difference between the two sides of the body. Give your shoulders or neck a little wriggle if they're needed, and then step back with the right foot. Again, checking that your feet are still about hip width apart, a little soft in the knees, turning the right palm forward, and just beginning with that gentle swing. A little soft in the knees here, focusing on the back swing, feeling those muscular structures behind the right shoulder, the right upper back area, even underneath the arm and down the side of the body, really engaging to help the movement. If you wish to, you can begin to rock backwards and forwards on your feet as well, just finding a little bit of resilience really here in the movement of the feet, the support from the legs as well. If it feels good to do that, you can look to your back hand as it goes behind you, resting the left hand across the right chest, right side of the chest in front of the shoulder, if that feels good too. Little lift in the belly muscles, enjoying this movement, focusing on that backswing. And we'll do a couple more here, or 3 more here. And then bringing the feet to steadiness, just let the arm work its way back to center, and then step forward onto both feet. Feel the difference between the two sides of the body. Maybe they feel balanced now, or maybe you've got such a difference between the two sides that you still feel it after that practice. Excuse me. So we've done a little bit of opening here. We're going to do some more pronounced opening, drawing the backs of the hands towards each other, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. And then from here, standing up, drawing the elbows back, opening the chest, maybe even turning the palms up towards the ceiling as the arms come long behind us. Rounding through the spine, chin to chest, moving the backs of the hands towards each other, soft in the knees. And then standing tall to draw the elbows back, opening the chest, looking up, turning the palms up as well. Rounding through the spine as you exhale. Standing tall as you inhale, moving the arms back behind the body. Exhaling as you round. Inhaling as you stand tall. One more time, exhaling as you round. Inhaling as you stand tall. At the end of your inhalation, just turning the palms to face down, floating the arms down to the sides. Give yourself a little dancing shoulder if you need it, a little wiggle of the hips. And we are going to come to using our belts for our up and overs. So for anyone who's not familiar with this practice, we start with the belt either side of the body, and we're going to lift it all the way up and over. We're going to widen our arms on the belt as we go, but we'll do this with our breath as well. So that's the general idea. So starting with the palms facing back towards the body, arms just a bit wider than the body, just checking your shoulders are relaxed, give them a couple of shrugs if you're not sure. We're going to reach the arms in front of the body, and we're going to allow the arms to get as high up as our shoulders allow them to go quite naturally at this narrowish gauge on the belt. So there'll come a point where you feel like you can't go any further unless you lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep the shoulders down during the movement, except for the breathing. So wherever you get to that feels like the shoulders are about to lift, we're going to stop there. And then we're going to lift the shoulders as we breathe in, and draw the shoulders down as we breathe out, and see if there's a little bit more space to move. And if there is, that's great. And if not, widen your hands on the belt to touch. And then wherever we next get to, which will be a few more inches maybe, we're going to breathe in as we lift, breathe out as we lower, and just see if there's a little bit more space to move into. And if not, use a little bit of width on the belt. Breathing in as we lift, breathing out as we lower, seeing if there's more space to move, and if we need a bit more width on the belt. Breathing in as you lift, breathing out as you lower the shoulders, seeing if there's a bit more space to move, and if not, widening your hands on the belt. And then there'll come a point where you feel that you've reached the place where you can then easily, smoothly, slowly draw the hands down behind the body. And it might be that you need to do the lift and lower 3 more times, widen the belt a little bit more. But when you are ready, coming all the way down, at the bottom of this movement, you can just give your shoulders a bit of a shrug if they need it, particularly the first time. We're going to do this 3 times, and by the 3rd time, it will feel so much more comfy. And then we've got our hands a certain width. We're going to widen them about a hand's width on either side more, and then reach back the way, up and over, little lift in the belly, keeping that movement smooth and continuous, keeping the shoulders down throughout. To finish in front of the body again. And you can make a sort of mental note of how far apart you are, and then come back to the center, moving the hands much closer to the body, giving the shoulders a bit of a wriggle, the neck a bit of a movement if it needs it. And we'll do the whole thing again. So reaching the hands forward, to wherever you get to, sorry, before you feel the shoulders beginning to creep up. And then we're going to lift as we breathe in, lower as we breathe out, and see if there's just a little bit more space. If there is, that's great. Then move to your next space. If not, take a little wider belt. Breathe in as you lift, breathe out as you lower, and just see if there's a little bit more space. Oh, and if not, widening the hands on the belt. Breathe in as you lift, breathe out as you lower with the shoulders down, just seeing if there's a bit more space to move into, widening the belt so that you don't create any strain. Breathe in as you lift, breathe out as you lower, and then moving. And when you get to a certain point, you might feel that you're ready to come all the way down. You can widen the hands a little bit on the belt, nice and smooth as the arms move behind you and down. There's no need to work really narrow to do this. The object is to lubricate that shoulder joint to provide a little bit of openness in the shoulders in a way they don't normally move. So when you get to the bottom, give yourself a little wiggle. Maybe widen your hands on the belt just a touch more, and then we're going back the way up and over, keeping the shoulders down all of the time. Super. And at the bottom of that movement, you might give yourself a dancing shoulder, a dancing hip, and we're going to come to do that one last time. And hopefully it should feel easier this time. So little softness, little lift in the belly, softness in the knees, reaching the hands forward. The shoulders are down, 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 down. And then just going to wherever it is that they begin to lift. Lifting up as you breathe in, drawing down as you breathe out, and just seeing if you've got a little bit more space to move, or widening your hands on the belt if you need to. Lifting up, lowering down, moving into the space. Lifting up, lowering down, moving into the space, widening as needed, because that's what the belt's for. The belt is there to give us that width. And then what we want to avoid is clunking one shoulder down and then the other. So make sure that wherever you get to, when you feel that you're ready to move into that backward descent, that you've got your hands wide enough to do that. At the bottom of that movement, just relaxing the shoulders, giving them a little wiggle in any direction, widening your hands one more time, and then going back the way, smooth and easy, up and over, shoulders down, all the way. And we're going to relax our arms down at this point, and you can chuck your belt to one side, because we're done with belts. We can shake out the hands, give them a little bit of open and close, maybe do a little of touching the fingertips to the thumb tips. So little fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, first fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, little fingers. Go backwards and forwards between the two as quickly as you can, trying to keep that rhythm. Super. This is a bit of brain gym for us. Very good for making sure those neural pathways stay very active. For fine motor work. Very good. And then shake out the hands and give your shoulders another little wiggle. So before we come to doing our sun salutations, time marches on. We're only going to have time for sun salutations today. We're going to do a little bit of side bending. So coming into the center with your feet, hands onto your hips, nice firmness across the belly, and we're just gently going to ease to one side and then to the other. So here we're keeping the feet quite still and the low body quite still. We're just easing from one side to the other. The movement comes all the way from the bottom of the hip up the torso. It doesn't come from the hips as well. So from the side of the body rather than from the hips. And if you wish to, you can put your hands into the movement as well. And if you wish to, you can reach a little bit further around the body, completely optional. Try to keep your head in line with your spine. If you wish to, you can look in the direction you're leaning away from. Whatever suits your neck. Let's do one more to each side. And then coming back to the center, we're going to move the feet a little bit closer together. And then this time we're going to let the hips move to the side. And we're going to soften the knee that we're moving away from. So as the hips move to the left, the right knee softens. And as the hips move to the right, the left knee softens. If you wish to do it where you soften the knee towards where you're going, that's okay. Some people are just wired that way, and that's good. No worries, no worries. Still firm in the belly. This time we're letting the hips really sway into the movement. And sometimes that irritates a low back that's sensitive. So if that's the case, making your hips more still, making this movement come from higher up the body is okay too. Allow your arms to join in the movement if it feels good to you. You might even allow them to come all the way up and over. And here, if you wish to, you can actually float the heel of the bent knee away from the floor and then float to the other side of the body. So you spend a moment in between the two sides with both heels off the floor. But that's completely optional. So if that doesn't suit your feet, that's not a problem at all. Still nice and firm in those belly muscles. Let's do one more to each side. And then coming back to the center, reaching the arms wide, settling the feet, settling the arms down to the side of the body, rolling your shoulders a couple of times in each direction. Fantastic, guys. So let us come back to our sitting. Oh, before we sit, let's do a little downward dog with the chair. Just because it's a nice thing to do to align the spine before we get into our sun salutations. So we're going to place the hands on the back of your seat. If your seat isn't suitable for that, you can place your hands on the wall around about waist height, same thing. Hands on the back of the seat and walking your feet away from you so that you've still got your feet underneath your hips. And here we're going to bend the knees, lengthen the tailbone back behind us. So the knees have to bend a little further still, scooping the belly in and trying to get the torso parallel-ish with the floor. What we want to end up with doing with the head is the head can be slightly higher than the arms, if that's okay, just drawing your chin towards your chest. But if you can, ears between upper arms, not lower than, but in between upper arms, if possible. Keeping the knees bent, gently sway the hips from side to side. So this feels very similar, or it looks like it should feel very similar to our previous practice of side bending, but actually in the body it feels quite differently. So if it doesn't suit you for some reason, it's okay, you can rest out of that. Pressing into the hands so that we're very active in the upper body. We're not just resting here and sagging. Nice and firm across the belly. And in your own time, coming to center, bending the knees a little deeper to look towards your seat and walk your feet in till you come to standing upright again. Take a moment to make sure the blood gets back to all the places it should be. And then we will come to sitting on our seats. I'm going to make sure that my block is handy underneath my seat. Turn ever so slightly, excuse me, in this direction so it's easier to see. So we're going to come to sitting as we normally do right at the front of our seats and do our sun salutation flow. So if it's not familiar to you, just join in. We're going to go quite slowly on this first side anyway, and I'm sure it will become quite familiar over time. Pressing the feet into the floor so that you can sit really tall, activating the belly muscles, making sure that the body is centered over the sit bones. We're going to begin with the arms down by the side. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms around the body as you look up. And as you breathe out, bringing the hands down to the center of the chest. This time, we're going to reach the hands forward as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, press into the left foot and draw the right knee into the chest and hug it towards you. Lovely job. We're going to breathe in as we lengthen up with the arms and down with the foot, and then we're going to twist to the right. So we're going to take the left hand across the body, the right hand behind us, as we twist to the right, breathing out. Lovely. We're going to breathe in back to the center, arms lifted, and breathe out as we take the hands behind the body to open the chest, reaching for the chair seat or the chair back. And then we're going to finish by settling the hands onto the thighs and sitting back into our neutral spot, so we can do the other side. So as you breathe in, take the arms around the body and up. This is slightly different from last week. Breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. Breathing in, reach the hands straight forward and up. As you breathe out, draw your left knee in, pressing the right foot into the floor. Breathing in, coming back to neutral, lifting the arms up. As you breathe out, twist to the left. Right hand to the left knee or thigh, left hand behind you. Breathing in, back to the center, lifting the arms up first. And as you breathe out, take the hands behind the body to reach for your chair back or your chair seat, just leaning slightly forward, lifting the chin a touch. And then from here, we're just simply bringing the hands back to rest onto the thighs, so we're sitting in a neutral spot. Excuse me. Let's do it like that one more time to each side, and then we'll add some other bits and pieces to it. So breathing in as you stand tall, press the feet down, lift the belly, lift your chest. Breathing out, draw the palms together at the center of the chest. Breathing in, reach the hands straight forward and up. As you breathe out, press into the left foot, draw the right knee into your chest, hug that leg towards you. Breathe in, come back to the neutral spot, arms lifted. Breathing out as you twist to the right. Very nice. Breathing in, back to the center, lifting the arms. Breathing out as you take the hands behind the body, open your chest. Breathing in, back to the center. And breathing out as you rest your hands down. Prepare for the other side. Press into the feet. Breathe in, take the arms around the body and up, lifting chest and belly. Breathing out, palms together, center of the chest. Breathing in, reach forward and up. Press into the right foot as you breathe out, draw the left knee into the chest, hug it towards you. Breathing in, reaching tall, both feet down and pressing down. Breathing out as you twist to your left. Breathing in, back to the center. Breathing out as you reach the hands back behind you to open your chest, roll the shoulder blades towards each other. Breathing in, release. Breathing out, hands resting onto the thighs. And just take a moment in stillness to feel the effect of your practice. So allowing the shoulders to roll or wriggle, allowing the neck to make any movements that feel good. So on this round, we're doing very similar things, but we are going to move slightly very similar but different. So as we bring the knee into the chest, we're going to hug the knee towards us, and then we're going to go for a twist with extending the leg. So we're going to move from that forward bend into that twist pretty much automatically. And then when we come back to doing our back bend, we're then going to do a forward bend as well. So we're going to reach the body forward over both legs. And on our second set, we might reach the body forward over one extended leg and then the other. So we'll just find our way into it. We'll do it nice and slowly, so we're doing it together. Feet placing on the floor, pressing down, lifting in the belly muscles when you're ready. Breathing in, taking the arms around the body and up. As you breathe out, draw the palms down through the center of the chest. Breathe in, reach all the way up again. As you breathe out, bend your right knee in and hug it towards you. Breathe in as you lengthen your right leg, sit tall, arms wide. Breathe out as you twist to the right. Breathe in, back to the center, bend the right foot back to the floor. Breathing out, reach the hands behind you, roll your shoulder blades towards each other. This time we're going to go up again. So breathing in, lift the arms up. As you breathe out, reach forward into a forward bend. And here, if you'd like to, hands can come down onto the thighs or even forearms, or you can leave your arms forward. We're going to breathe in as we come back up to upright and breathe out the arms around the body to the sides. Same thing on the other side. Sitting tall, breathing in, reaching the arms out and up. Breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. Breathing in, reaching forward and open. Breathing out as you draw your left knee into your chest. From here, we're going to breathe in, lengthen the left leg, lengthen the arms out, and then twist as we breathe out to the left. As we breathe into center, we're going to lower the left foot and reach up, and then breathe out into our little back bend, reaching for the chair behind you. We're going to breathe in, reaching the arms up again, and as we breathe out, folding slightly forward. It could be that the arms are down. Try to keep the chest lifted in whichever position and nice and firm in the belly. Breathing in back to the center and breathing out, arms down to the side. This time we're going to do that same thing, but when we do the forward bend, we're going to leave our leg extended. So I'll talk you through it. Sitting tall, preparing, switching all the bits on, pressing the feet down. Breathing in, taking the arms around the body, looking up. Breathing out, palms down through the center of the chest. Breathing in as you reach forward, opening the front of the body again. As you breathe out, draw your right knee into the chest, press into the left foot. Breathing in, extend arms and right leg. As you breathe out, twist to your right. Here, we're going to breathe in back to the center. We're going to lower the right leg down, and we're going to take the forward bend now. Breathing out, leaning forward. It could be with your arms down, it could be with your arms up. Breathing in back to the center, and now we'll take our back bend. Slide that right foot towards you, reach the arms behind you, roll the shoulder blades towards each other. Finish by breathing in, reaching up again. Both feet down, breathing out, arms down and around the body. Let's do that to the left side. Roll the shoulders if you need to. Pressing the feet down, firming the center, breathing in, reaching around the body and up. Breathing out, palms together, center of the chest. Breathing in, reaching all the way forward, and now press into the right foot so you can hug your left leg towards you as you breathe out. Breathe in, lengthen the left leg and the arms, and as you breathe out, twist to the left. Breathing in back to the center, reach the arms up, let the left heel find the floor, and as you breathe out, fold forward from your hips. Keep your chest open if you can. Breathe in back to the center, replace the left foot onto the floor. Breathe out as you draw the arms around to the back of the body, hug the chair, hug the shoulder blades towards each other. Breathe in for a final lift of the arms up, looking up, breathing out, float the arms down to your side. And here, find a little width in the feet so that you can find a little rest through the pelvis, through the center of the body. Let the arms be loose by the sides. You can shrug your shoulders a few times. You can roll in your shoulders if you like to. And now we're going to prepare for relaxation. Otherwise, time will march away from us and I'll get carried away. In the first class today, we ran over by 10 minutes because I got carried away. So any movements that feel good. So as you're moving around your space for doing relaxation, you might give your legs and arms a little bit of a shake out. You can grab hold of your blankets should you need them, and a little block or a sturdy book underneath the feet should you need that. I'm just going to have a quick swig of juice while I'm at it. Sky juice this is. Very good. And then settling yourself for relaxation. So relaxation in chair yoga, you can do it reclining on your sofa, lying on your bed, lying on the floor if you like. You can put your legs up on a seat. You can have your legs up on the wall. So if you are comfortable making those movements, of course, do that. But if you wish to relax in your seat, then sitting yourself all the way into the back of your seat, making sure that your feet are supported by something that keeps your knees around about hip height, not too low. And we want to find comfort in the body here. So we're trying to look for a position that feels supported enough that we can soften as much of our effort as possible. So let your arms rest wherever is comfortable for you. Feel the support of the back of the body against something that's important. And then closing your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Maybe taking a few movements of the head from side to side, maybe a little nodding or shaking or figure of eighting, whatever feels good to your neck in this moment. And when you've finished doing all of your fidgeting, bring your body to stillness. Take a deep breath in and sigh out through your mouth. Repeat 3 more times. A deep breath in, let all of your effort go. A deep breath in and feel your muscles begin to soften and relax. A deep breath in and surrender back and down into your support. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, falling into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften, that space between the eyebrows separating and spreading. The area around your eyes releasing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw relaxing. Allow the whole of the body to feel heavy, warm, supported, releasing back and releasing down. Move your awareness to your breathing. Become aware again of your natural, spontaneous breath. And note now the qualities of your breath, its smoothness, deepness, the rhythm of your breath, the sensation of your breath. The movements of your clothes on your skin as you breathe. The movement of the body as you breathe. The sensation of air moving in and out through the nostrils. When you feel ready, you can gently deepen your breath. Keeping your face and shoulders and jaw and chest relaxed as you breathe easy in, easy out. Noting the rhythm of your deeper breath. Do you feel a slight pause at the top of your inhalation before you breathe out? Or a slight pause at the bottom of your exhalation before you breathe in again? You may have 2 pauses in the breath or 1. Find a natural rhythm with a gentle pause and note the qualities of that pause, the stillness, quiet, peacefulness. Without any strain, see if you can gently extend those moments of stillness in the breath. Encourage an opening or a lengthening of that sense of peace and quiet. Without force or strain, allowing your awareness to rest in those moments of peacefulness and quiet. On every breath for the remainder of relaxation. Gently begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body. Focus on the feeling of your body against your support, the feeling of your hands and your feet. Move your fingers, your toes, maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. When you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good. Gently lengthening one side and then the other, one leg and then the other. If you're lying down, then gather yourself in, make any movements that feel good to your spine, maybe rolling to one side, and join us in a seated position when you are ready. If you're on your chair, you can bring your palms together in front of the body. We're going to clap them twice and then rub the hands as vigorously as possible, getting movement and energy into the arms, pressing firmly, rubbing hard. When the hands are warm, place them over the eyes. So that warmth and darkness across the eyes is a really nurturing place to blink them open into. And when you've done that a few times, you can rest your hands down as you open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining in this practice again today. I hope that you enjoyed it. We've got one more week left of this term, so I'll look forward to seeing you next Monday. Namaste.